Well, as we've been reporting, there's been a lot of heartbreak for communities in Far North Queensland who are coming to terms with that historic flood that has really rocked their part of the world following ex-tropical cyclone Jasper. Joining us live now is David White. He's the owner and operator of Solar Whisper, Daintree River Crocodile and Wildlife Cruises. David, really appreciate you making the time for us. Thank you. It sounds like you've really had a shocker of a few days. Just tell us a bit about what you and the locals that I know you've been helping up there have gone through.
Yeah, no, it's been a traumatic time. It was the cyclone was windy, but we got through that all right. But then the rain was just torrential and catastrophic. The flooding and the erosion, and it was just horrible. And I've got a business on the river, the Daintree River. It's flooded higher, where they measure it, more than 2 metres higher than the highest record ever, which was in 2019. So no one's expecting that sort of flood. So the ticket offices have gone right underwater and full of mud now, but that's on the back burner because there's people that have lost everything in their houses, and we've been trying to help them and shoveling mud out of their houses literally up to your shins, deep mud through all their possessions. And these people had to get evacuated by some amazing locals in their little boats. Went out in the night and early hours of the morning and literally plucked them off their roofs. And it's not just rising floodwaters like a lot of other houses had. This is raging fast water and real threat to life if they fell in the water. And also, not to mention the crocodiles possibility. But it was horrific for them, and I just feel so sorry for them. And losing everything, absolute everything, all their possessions, all they've got is the clothes they're wearing, and we're just trying to do everything we can to help them. And it's been really nice, the whole community spirit here. There's been a big gang of guys going around with their local bushfire tank full of water and a big pump, and we've been blasting the mud out of their houses and making huge piles of their possessions. Unfortunately, that's all just going to the tip. And just trying to get the power back on, but it's not just a matter of getting the ergon doing it. The electricity might come on, but the house won't work because it's been underwater. So it's a big job. Yeah. Can you hear me
David,
there?
I'm so sorry to hear about the impact on your business. That just must be really such a tough blow, especially at this time of the year. We're seeing a lot of tourism operators obviously now facing a very uncertain few months ahead. I saw a post you wrote online in the last day or so, and you said that the last few days has restored your faith in humanity. You strike me as a bloke who doesn't use that as a throwaway line very lightly or very often.
No, well, I love crocodiles, but I don't normally think much of people. But my faith has been restored in the human race. Seeing the amazing community spirit, how people are just. One of the people that amazing guy, I got to mention his name, Gary Mackay, and two others, Chris and Charmaine Norris, went out in their little boats in the wild weather, and they their own places. Gary's place was underwater, and they weren't worried about their own place; they were worried about rescuing people. So they just and then later on, after getting their own house blasted in the mud out of their own, Gary's house, organised a big group of people, including us, to try and help others. And while his own house was drying out and all his possessions have gone to the tip. And he's lost lots and lots of cows. He's a farmer, and he's an amazing man, and he's a real hero. And everyone that has been helping has been really good, and no concern for costs or anything. It's just pitching in and helping. It's really been great.
Yeah, thank goodness people like Gary, Chris and Charmaine, and like you as well, David, because I know you're being pretty modest about your own efforts too. I don't think I've ever interviewed anyone before who says they prefer crocs to humans, but there's a first for everything. You do run a business with Crocodile and Wildlife Cruises. How are the crocs? We've seen some pictures of them in some very strange places. Have you been involved in any rescues of those?
No. The crocs will be fine. They don't like the fast flowing water, so they'll go to the edges. The edge of the water, edge of the river, was in over the road. They're 4 kilometres away from the normal riverbank, so the crocodiles go to the edge, and sometimes they're seen in unusual places, but they will go back. As the water goes down, they will go back. They're not going to stay in those unusual places, so there's nothing to worry about. And of course, you have to be careful when you're working and travelling around the area because they're there, but they're not a problem, and they don't need rescuing. And, and unfortunately, they did take one out of the park, but it would have gone back to its own habitat. And when they say rescuing, it's not really rescuing. It's crocodiles heading off to a crocodile farm or a zoo or something. But they just got to leave them alone. They'll go back to their place. They've been through this before, and they will be fine. And we don't have to worry about the crocodiles. They're okay.
David, really appreciate you making the time. Look, well done on your efforts. I know there's a tough slog ahead still for you and the locals there, trying to get all that mud out, which, as I understand, has just really got into everything. It sounds pretty horrific, and you're all in our thoughts as you get on with that clean-up effort over the next few days. Thanks again.
Yeah.